Let's get right into it. Number 8. The compliment fishing trap. Remember being a kid and holding up your crayon masterpiece that looked like a potato, had a fight with a rainbow? You'd wave it around desperately until some adult finally said, "Wow, that's amazing," and you got an instant dopamine hit. Some of us never stopped waving that metaphorical potato drawing around. We just got sneakier about it. This whole thing starts innocently enough. Little you only got attention when you were the perfect angel or aced that spelling test. Your brain did some quick math. Praise equals I exist. No praise equals I'm basically furniture. So you became this tiny approval detective, scanning every adult's face like you're trying to crack the Da Vinci Code. Fast forward to now, and you're still playing detective, except now it's with Instagram likes. You post a selfie and refresh the app every 3.7 seconds like you're monitoring a heart patient. 47 likes feels pathetic. Time to delete everything and move to the woods. At work, you're that person who volunteers for every project. Not because you love spreadsheets. Nobody loves spreadsheets. You just need your boss to pat you on the head and tell you you're a good corporate soldier. Your inbox full of thanks for staying late. Emails has become your personal trophy case. This whole setup is exhausting. You're basically a professional people pleaser with no vacation days. You're still that kid with the potato drawing, except now the drawing is your entire life, and you're waving it at everyone hoping someone, anyone, will tell you it's good enough. Meanwhile, you could just put the drawing down and realize you don't need anyone's permission to exist. But where is the fun in that when you could spend another decade fishing for compliments like they're the last tuna in the sea? Number 7. The lingering comparison ghost. You know how your mom said, "Why can't you be more like your cousin Sarah? She always gets straight A's." That comment might be why you feel like a fraud at work, even after a promotion. Childhood comparisons create a persistent inner critic. You nail a presentation, but your brain says, anyone could have done that. You get a raise and it whispers, they'll figure out you're not worth it. This happens when kids hear things like, your brother is so good at sports. Why aren't you? Or even, you're the smart one. Both can mess you up. The golden child grows up terrified of mistakes, their identity built on perfection. One slip, and their worth crumbles. Other kids internalize they're defective, always playing catch-up. Your brain dismisses your achievements. Got a degree? The classes were easy. Started a business? Good market timing. The childhood comparison scoreboard is still running, but now you're competing against a ghost, an impossible ideal from childhood. The gifted kid label is tough. If things came easy, you might not have learned to handle real challenges. Adult life gets hard, and you panic, thinking, maybe I'm not actually smart, instead of realizing struggle is normal and effort matters. The weird part? People with this comparison ghost are often high achievers, succeeding despite feeling like frauds. But success can worsen the feeling, as that childhood measuring stick is impossibly high. Why can't you be more like becomes, why aren't you perfect? And since nobody's perfect, you're stuck feeling like you're faking it, haunted by comparisons. Number 6. The clean plate club curse. Remember sitting at dinner, staring at leftover peas and hearing, finish everything on your plate. Think of the starving children. Or, no dessert until that plate is spotless. Welcome to the Clean Plate Club, a society most of us unknowingly joined. Your parents meant well, wanting you healthy and not wasteful, but this rule secretly reprogrammed your brain and belly, teaching you to ignore your body's natural signals. Your plate, not your stomach, became the boss. Your body has a built-in system for hunger and fullness cues, but the Clean Plate Club trained you to eat until the visual cue, an empty plate, was achieved, regardless of how you felt. Fast forward to adulthood, you're full, but there's food on your plate. Guilt hits. You have to finish it. So you push through, maybe unbuttoning your pants. You've essentially muted your body's natural off switch. Your body doesn't need the same amount of food daily. Some days you're more active or just less hungry. You might finish a meal one day and need only half the next. Listening to that is normal, but the conditioning kicks in. Ignore your body. Empty the plate. The result? You override your body's wisdom, consistently taking in more fuel than needed. Your body stores the extra as fat. That innocent childhood habit, designed to make you eat veggies, disconnects you from your body, turning mealtime into a task. Number 5. Because I said so. You know the phrase, because I said so, or don't question me. Normal childhood, right? But when that's the only explanation, it can stifle critical thinking skills. Experts call this authoritarian parenting. High demands, strict rules, my way, or the highway. Obedience is key. No room for your thoughts on the rules. Some parents think it protects you. But critical thinking is about asking why. If every attempt to understand was shut down, it's not your place to ask, or just do it. Your brain learns questioning is bad. Like an unused muscle, it stays weak. So, as an adult from a don't ask questions zone, you might struggle to think for yourself, believe everything you hear, or find decision-making hard, always needing external direction. Your inner detective wasn't trained. Research shows being overly strict doesn't even make kids better behaved long-term. They just get sneakier. The alternative isn't chaos, but explaining reasons behind rules. Parents who explain and listen help build critical thinking, even if they disagree with the kid's logic. When your thoughts are heard, you learn to understand yourself better, making better choices later. If you grew up in a because I said so world and struggle to question things, it's not that you're bad at thinking. Your brain might have been trained not to flex those muscles. The good news? You can start working them out. Number 4, the seen not heard curse. Children should be seen and not heard. This old-fashioned rule, if part of your childhood, can sabotage your ability to speak up as an adult, like a permanent mute button. Your young brain learns, speaking up equals trouble. Silence equals safety. This isn't just memory, it's wiring. Expressing yourself becomes associated with anxiety or disapproval. Fast forward to adulthood. In a meeting, you have a great idea but can't speak. Your boss piles on work. You nod, stomach churning. That's the curse. Your adult self wants to assert, but your inner child, conditioned for silence, panics. This makes setting boundaries incredibly difficult. You become a yes person, not from agreeableness, but because saying no triggers old fears. People-pleasing becomes a defense. Conflict? Terrifying. People raised to be silent avoid it, swallowing feelings, hoping problems vanish. Your brain isn't trying to make adult life miserable. It's running old silence equals safety software, not realizing adult challenges, negotiating salary, expressing needs, are different. If you find it hard to speak your mind or say no, it might not be a personality flaw. It could be a childhood rule making you believe your voice doesn't matter. Brains can be rewired, but first, realize the quiet kid inside might still be calling the shots. Number 3, tiny chameleon people pleasers. You agree to things you don't want, just to avoid upsetting someone. Your needs are always last. This isn't just being nice. It's often a people-pleasing habit, an old program from childhood. It starts as a survival strategy. In a home where love or safety feels conditional, a child's brain becomes a mood detective. Being good, quiet, or helpful might prevent an outburst or earn approval. Their own feelings are suppressed to keep the peace, even if it means self-erasure. This also happens with emotional neglect. Their brain wires to believe, my needs aren't important, but theirs are. Sometimes it's rooted in early low self-esteem. A child believes they're not inherently worthy, so they try to earn love through constant helping. Every yes is a bid for validation. Kids also copy parents who constantly put others first. That's the tiny chameleon effect. Changing colors to blend in, be accepted, feel safe. This good kid armor feels so normal, you carry it into adulthood, becoming an expert at reading others' needs while ignoring your own. Setting boundaries feels mean because your inner child screams that no is dangerous. This innocent habit leaves you exhausted, resentful, and disconnected from who you truly are. Number 2, the conflict coward's curse. The kid who'd rather swallow their tongue than disagree. The peacekeeper who always backed down. Seems like a nice kid, but dodging conflict in childhood can mess you up as an adult. If you grew up where disagreements were World War III, shouting, slamming doors, you learned conflict is terrifying. Or if conflict was invisible, swept under the rug, you never saw how to handle it. Either way, conflict equals bad. As an adult, self-worth suffers. I don't like conflict becomes, I don't like standing up for myself. Someone cuts in line, your boss takes credit for your idea, you stay silent. Inside, you seethe or believe your needs don't matter. Then, there's anxiety. If any confrontation feels like a threat, even small disagreements cause panic. This isn't just momentary. Conflict avoidance often links to more general psychological distress. Relationships suffer. Healthy ones need open communication. If you can't voice concerns, resentment builds. You might become a people pleaser. Terrified disagreement means anger or abandonment, feeling unheard. This avoidance sabotages careers. Scared to share ideas or ask for a raise? You miss opportunities. The more you avoid conflict, the scarier it becomes. You never practice, never build skills. Unspoken frustration can turn into passive aggression or internalize as stress or depression. That childhood peacekeeping can lead to an adult life of tiptoeing and anxiety. The goal isn't loving fights, but fearlessly expressing yourself and handling disagreements. Number 1. The good kid feeling trap. Remember being told big boys don't cry or stop being so dramatic? That childhood programming to stuff down feelings to be the good kid is probably messing you up. It might have started because your family wasn't big on emotions or certain feelings weren't appropriate. Kids learn to shut down feelings to survive stress. Your kid brain thought, if I don't feel this, it can't hurt me. Smart tactic, terrible long-term plan. Your body starts keeping score. Bottled emotions create chronic stress, mystery aches, constant headaches, stomach issues, a weak immune system. Your body screams the feelings your mouth was taught to silence. You become an emotionally clueless adult. Asked if you're upset, you might genuinely say, I don't think so. Maybe just tired. You only recognize intense emotions, missing subtle signals. This emotional blindness wrecks relationships. How can you navigate others' feelings if you don't understand your own? You might become a people pleaser or end up in codependent relationships. To cope, people turn to numbing, doom scrolling, emotional eating, shopping sprees. Often, this emotional shutdown becomes automatic, especially if it started young. Your brain buries feelings before you're aware. You genuinely believe you're not emotional, while an ocean of feelings churns underneath. Your young brain thought it was helping, but that good kid programming makes adult life harder. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.